Hello everybody, my name is Dave Whipple and this is Bush Radical. Bush because it's a channel about outdoor type of stuff. And Radical because this channel is about living more free. It's about living more rustic, living more hands-on. I ended up on the National Geographic channel because I knew people who lived that kind of life. I'd lived that kind of life. I really firmly believe that when you really pursue the things that inspire you, I think great things like that can happen. Today I want to tell you guys a story about 4 months in my life that really changed everything for me. It was the summer of 1998. My wife Brooke and I had just got engaged, and she was going to go to Wisconsin. She'd got her internship right out of college, and I was going to go to Alaska and work for the summer. I drove my old 1980s F-150 all the way up the Elcan, rust chunks falling off it everywhere, all the way up to interior Alaska. And I had no idea what I was going to do when I got there. I didn't know anybody there. I didn't have a place to live. I didn't have anything. I just wanted to go. I knew it was something that I had to do. I just wanted to be there. I ended up getting a job on Eielson Air Force Base finishing concrete. I've been doing concrete for a couple years at that point. I was 22. And so I got a good job making good money. As opposed to going out and getting a cabin or renting an apartment or something like that, I just chose to sleep in the front seat of my pickup for 4 months. And I would take my alarm clock and I would set it on the dash and just set it for 6:30 in the morning. And at night, I'd just tip over in the seat. Sometimes it would be in the parking lot of a Safeway. Sometimes it would be at a boat launch or a Forest Service pull-off on the side of the road. But the freedom of that, and I'd get out of work, filthy, dirty, sweaty, covered in dust and dirt, and I'd go to the laundromat, take a $3 shower, and then I was totally free. I could go anywhere, I could do anything. I had a pocket full of money, a full tank of gas, and the world at my fingertips. And it was so revolutionary for me. I'd never experienced that kind of freedom before. And it really came with being radical, being outside the box. People I worked with were really cool. They would say, hey, you know, I've got a camper on my property. You want to stay there? I've got a guest cabin. Would you like to use my guest cabin for the summer? And I couldn't bring myself to do it. That edge of being completely free to just do whatever you want. I'd get out of work and I'd have the whole state of Alaska as my playground. On the weekends, I'd drive way up north. I'd go gold panning. I'd go fishing. I had no grass to mow. I had no electric bill to pay. It was just me and my pickup truck. And it was a free and radical and mind-changing experience. Later on, Brooke and I built our first cabin. And it was 12 foot by 12 foot with a little tiny loft in it. And we lived in that cabin for 2.5 years. But the point is, this summer really put me on that path to just live in an unconventional lifestyle. We lived for 10 years with no running water. We had no indoor plumbing. And I absolutely loved every minute of it. It gave us freedom to do stuff that we wouldn't have had the time to do. We wouldn't have had the finances to do otherwise. When you're freed up like that, to really pursue the things that you're really passionate about. We spent a lot of time in the bush. We spent a lot of time traveling. It ultimately led to knowing people who were also doing interesting stuff off the grid, you know, out in the boondocks. And ultimately, that's kind of the path that led us to be on the National Geographic channel with our friends Neil and Laurel. But that thinking, that mindset, that really took off for me this summer that I spent 4 months living in my truck. And I thought, there's got to be people out there who hear a story like that and think, man, that sounds amazing. There's also people who are like, that sounds like the worst thing in the world. But if you think that sounds amazing, I say, give it a shot. It was a life-changing 4 months for me, and I totally recommend it. If you're not happy with your circumstances, if you're living a life where it just seems like You open the classifieds in the paper or get on Craigslist, and there's no jobs that you're interested in. And you're not really thrilled with where you're at geographically. My advice would be to fill the gas tank up, have a giant yard sale, and just hit the road. If any of you have had similar experiences, if there's something that you'd like to add to this conversation, please click on the comments down below. Tell me your story. That's the greatest thing about YouTube. That's what really makes me want to do this channel. It's because it's TV, but it's interactive. Let me know if you've had an experience like that that's really just opened your eyes to the possibilities and put you on a different path. The bush community, the outdoors community, the community of adventurers and expeditionists and survivalists, we've all got good stories. So tell me your story and tell me how you got on that path that put you in that place that you are now. This is Dave Whipple. Thank you so much for watching this video. And be radical, eh?